Good afternoon, I'm Hope.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Erica. We have been working with students at the Winooski Public Library in Winooski, Vermont over the past 10 weeks.
The program director, Julie Montera, is new to this program and has been a great help in moving this program along and making sure each tutoring session goes as smoothly as possible.
We have worked with students of all ages, from 5 years old to 22-year-olds. We have worked with non-English speakers, with refugees, and students from around the area.
Throughout our time working in the program, these students have made an impact on us.
For the rest of our presentation, we will be focusing on 3 students who have exemplified what we have been learning throughout this course on developmental theory.
The first student I will be focusing on during this presentation is the student that I worked with personally and connected with. One of the main reasons why I connected with this student was because she felt comfortable enough to tell me about her family and her interests outside of school. This made the tutoring session go more smoothly because I was able to speak honestly to her about weaknesses in her writing as well as her strengths. And her name was Fartoon. Fartoon was a 22-year-old female who went to CCV and was studying English. She was an ELL but had an incredible growth mindset and ways of admitting her mistakes, and that allowed us as tutors to help her succeed in her assignments. One of the times she came into our sessions, she was working on an English project and needed help with answering some homework questions. She struggled with some words in the sentence and needed help defining them so she could understand her task. Using Thorndike's law of effect, we were able to help her define smaller words in the sentence that would then make up the complete sentence. Once she understood all of the words in the sentence, she got excited knowing she completely understood all of the words. Due to this, she was satisfied and tried harder to complete the rest of her assignment. She was a very successful student, and by the time we were done, she left the library excited and to learn more.
Another student who we had was one who came often to our study sessions for help. Her and I got along very well, and her mother liked our connection so much that she made a point for her daughter to come and see our group on Thursday nights. Bree is a 5th grade girl who came to the public library with her mother and sister as supports during the tutoring. She struggled with math the most and constantly lost focus when we were working on assignments. When I was trying to teach her about ratios, she would constantly assure me that she was terrible in math and never paid any attention in class because she didn't understand any of it. She had a fixed mindset because she didn't think that she could ever understand math and didn't even want to try because she did not like failing. When I would even try and teach her simple multiplication, she would try and distract me with stories about going to the principal's office or goofing off in class. Or she would tell me that she never does multiplication because it was too hard. I had to work her up to doing larger multiplication problems by starting off with easier ones to help her improve her confidence in her math skills. According to Erickson's theory of psychosocial development, Bree is currently in the industry versus inferiority stage of her development. This is a stage that focuses a lot on the confidence level that children have to build in themselves to help them improve to get to the next stage of their life. Bree had confidence in her social skills. She would often talk about her friends or how she had a boyfriend in school, but would constantly tell us how weak she was in school and how she would never get any better in school because she didn't like it. Over time, I was able to work with her to break down math into simpler problems so she wouldn't be afraid to try and do bigger problems in the future. Bree still has a very long way to go in gaining her confidence in math, but I think encouragement is the key to helping Bree succeed in all of her classes.
During my time as a tutor with the Upward Bound program, one of the students, a 10th grade English language learner, had a lasting impact on me. His name was Ramadan, and because this was my first time ever tutoring and he was the first student to visit the library, we were all so excited to see someone that we all jumped at the chance to help him with homework. Luckily, Ramadan was very easygoing and was more than willing to accept our help. From talking to Ramadan about his interest in playing soccer and mechanics, I was able to get a better picture of him as both a student and just a regular teenage boy. This made the conversations flow better, and I was able to get over the first time tutoring jitters and just have fun with it. As a student, Ramdan loved science and was enrolled in a tech program with a concentration in mechanics. He expressed his dream to be a mechanic and work in his own shop when he gets older. When I asked him why he wanted to do this, he said his dad is currently working as an auto mechanic and they work on cars together in their spare time. Ramdan's face would light up when he talked about his dad and how he influenced his love for taking things apart and seeing how they worked. According to Bandura's social learning theory, our behavior as individuals is greatly influenced by observing the figures around us and how they behave. Ramdan, by observing his dad work on cars and conducting business with his clients, was able to model his behavior during our tutoring sessions. He showed confidence in himself by only asking for help when he needed a question rephrased or when he wanted us to check his spelling on something. Ramdan's dad greatly influenced his behavior and helped shape him to be a hardworking student with a growth mindset. Overall, Ramdan had a strong sense of self-efficacy, and some major points that contributed to his self-efficacy was modeling the behavior of his father, as well as setting goals for himself and seeing them through, as well as knowing that he could fail along the way and then fix things along the way in order to succeed in the end.
During this experience at Upward Bound, there were many things that we all took away from it. One of the things that I personally liked the most was being able to see so many different students come in between ELLs or people from this area and the different ages there were, and it was just really cool to be able to help these students, especially before we're about to be teachers.
I probably liked the most just like meeting all the new kids, because we really haven't had any like one-on-one experience with any kind of student of any age yet for teaching. So tutoring was such a nice way to like figure out like boundaries with kids, like what to say, what not to say, and just how to generally treat them, like whether or not to treat them as students, treat them as friends, and to know how far to go in saying certain things. I don't know, it was just an interesting experience to try and interact with kids for the first time.
Yeah, and I think a huge part of this whole experience was definitely having Julie be in the position that she is with the tutoring, because she took it from very, very slow and like not that great of communication, and then as soon as she started, it was like from 0 to 100. She really, really demonstrated amazing self-efficacy for herself, and her motivation and her energy really, really was like rubbed off on us, and we therefore, like in turn, we got really, really motivated and really, really excited to work with the kids, just like Julie was.
Yeah, so we just want to say thank you to Jen,
Yeah.
and thank you to Emma for being such good helpers for this whole experience. Jen, you were such a great teacher to be like so open with us, and Emma, thanks for being the best helper.
Yeah, thank you.
Take 8.
Let's go!
I'm recording.
Go.
One student, I don't know what I'm saying.
You're doing great.
Don't do that.
Why?
It's so super.
I bet Jen will think it's funny.
All right.
Hi.